the political spectrum, let's say, that all white people are racist. And I think, okay, are all white people racist? What's the answer to that? And the answer is yes and no. And how dare you frame the question like that?
Come on, Dr. Peterson. You are being too deep already, bro. I thought you was really going to stick to an answer. You gave all answers. It's everything. It's yes. It's no. And why would you ask me that? I should slap you in your daggone mouth. I should smack you in your face. That's pretty much what you gave us just now.
That's the three answers. So yes, let's look at yes first. Well, are all people racist? Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Like, we have really, really intense in-group affiliative tendencies.
Come on, Dr. Peterson. We were talking about white people, okay? We want to hold white people to the feet to the fire so that they can apologize and give us 40 mules and reparations, huh? I want my 40 acres in a mule, not 40 mules. It's just one mule in 40 acres. That's what we want. We want white people to say, yes, we are all racist, and here, take your mule and your 40 acres in reparations, huh? So I see he's about to be all super scholastic with it, and we're not going to get a real answer. We're not. We're going to get an answer that's going to change our lives, and it's going to make us feel good just to be a person, a human being, and it's going to make us feel bad for feeling like we're above people, as we should probably feel bad, because nobody should feel like they're above any daggone body, because we are all God's children, simple and plain. All right.
Probably. Like, we have really, really intense in-group affiliative tendencies.
And yet we're supposed to suppose that maybe especially North American white people can learn to not be racist, unlike all other people in the world. That's a tough proposition.
Well, all of us, it's very difficult for all of us to overcome our in-group biases. And we never even want to do it completely, because we want to love our family specially. And we also only have a limited amount of time and attention. So we have to love some people specially, or do nothing at all for anyone. So this is a huge problem. So by stating it that way, that all white people are racist, you make racism a subcategory of white, and you actually underplay the terrible catastrophe and significance of the problem.
This dude is smart. He is so daggone smart, bro. He is so smart. And this, every single time I listen to Jordan Peterson talk, I wonder, why do people not like this brother? What am I missing? Did he used to wear a swastika or something? Does he have a tattoo of a swastika on his chest or something I don't know about? Huh? Was he locked up and he had to kill a few black dudes in order to join the daggone skinheads or something? What am I missing? Huh? Did he used his grandparents used to wear little white capes, and they used to just walk around, I mean, the white hoods, and they used to go from town to town messing with black people. What am I missing? What am I missing about this guy?
And that's very dangerous, because we all have to contend with this in-group preference and our proclivity to demonize anyone we put in the out-group. And that's a terrible tendency.
Yeah, and that question is one of them where I depart from what I wish were my comrades, in that, are all white people racist? You know what? Probably.
I think yes. And I think all white people are racist. No, I don't. I used to, though. I used to. Honestly, I used to. I used to think all white people were racist, and I used to think that black people could not be racist at all. It just was not in us. No matter what we say, we couldn't be racist. I think that the lack of having power or anything like that, being able to deny anybody from opportunities and whatnot, denied us from the ability to be racist. But I did used to think that way. I was a part of an African, a positive comedic group that was all about African this, African that. And then after the African meeting about the white man is the devil. Okay, we're gonna feed everybody. Who want jerk chicken? Who want curry chicken? And who want and who want greens, and who want mac and cheese? You know, they used to feed us real good after those meetings. But yeah, I used to, man, sheesh. See, thank God for getting better. You know what I mean? getting some knowledge, getting some understanding of the world, getting some understanding of myself. You know what I mean? So yeah, I used to think that. And I think that this is a silly question, but I like hearing people answer it. And I wanted to hear Jordan Peterson really answer it and hammer it down too. And plus I already knew that this brother right here would not think it, because he cut off his mustache. If it was a brother with his mustache on, I would probably thought he would say, you know what? Yeah, I think all the white people are racist. Yeah.
To some extent, the white person who couldn't have an ounce of racism identified in them, even with sophisticated psychological testing, is probably vanishingly rare. Sure. And my sense of it is, when it's gotten to the point that it has, who cares? And I've often said to audiences, and I've watched some Black people in audiences, having not heard this, understand what I mean. If you really do have a basic self-love, then the fact that the whites around you have various degrees of racism really just shouldn't matter, because life consists of about 1,000 things other than whatever that residual racism is in that white person across the room who is, married to a Black person and, does all the sorts of things that these supposedly racist but hyper woke white people do.
You only married a Black person because you try to make a point. You so racist that you want to marry somebody Black, huh? That's why you racist. You so racist that you went and had your own Black kids. That's your problem. Oh, you're so racist. Oh. You so racist that you put your daggone white son on an all Black basketball team. That's how racist you are. Oh, I see you. You tricky. You tricky. People are ridiculous. And I'm with this guy, what he just now said. Why should we even care? Why should we even care? If we treat each other with some type of level of respect, then what people are deep inside is not even our business. As long as it does not negatively affect your neighbor. Because I said it before, we are all God's children. Nobody's better than the other. So at the end of the day, we need to start daggone treating people like it, period.
It's just, why does it matter so much? Now, it's one thing for somebody in 1925 to talk about white racism, 1955, 65. But today, my feeling about it is, with most of the white people that a Black person who talks about that sort of thing most knows, the answer is yes. Most of the white people are probably very slightly racist, but not in
He said very slightly.
any way that will remotely matter in your life, even including being friends with them and sometimes close friends. Why are we so obsessed with that? And I think that's a very legitimate question. Life is about so much more than obsessing over something like that, except that when you obsess over something like that, you're part of a group. It's us versus them. And you have a sense of purpose and a sense of virtue because you're the person who's being racist.
It's always us versus them, not Black versus white, but whatever group you're a part of versus whatever groups you're not a part of, period. That's all it is. It's us versus them. If you work for a company or an organization, they teach you that it's us versus them. Our rules, our bylaws, our laws and bylaws, our regulations against whatever's on the outside of this. So whoever wants to be a part of this, we need to make sure that they adhere to whatever we stand for. And if they don't, we don't mess with them like that. Kick them to the street. You know what I mean? That's how I go. Not literally. I'm just saying. But at the end of the day, that's how it goes. You are for who you're for. Just don't be against anybody. How can we do that? Like, you can be for who you're for, but you ain't got to be against anybody. You don't have to pick a side all the time or pick a team to go against somebody else and destroy somebody else's life. You ain't got to do all that.
But I find that a rather feeble way of going about an existence with true virtue. I've never used that word so much as today.
It might also indicate interference with the process of coming to terms with your own in-group preference and tendency to derogate whatever out-group you happen to be surrounded by. I mean, I do see this as a terribly deep human problem. I presume that in the 1970s that Jane Goodall found that chimps go on raiding parties, right? And that was a major league discovery. It shows how that proclivity to demonize the out-group is at least 6 million years old. Right?
Definitely.
It's deep and it's in us. And so, and we all have to contend with it. And so now we could have an intelligent conversation nonetheless about the manner in which the predominance of one ethnic group in a given society might exacerbate those tendencies.
Of course.
That's something that's certainly independent of the notion that all white people are racist. Right?
And then you can also see that, you know, it's easy to believe that progress doesn't happen than to admit that it happens slowly. The degree to which most white Americans are racist in 2021, not to mention white Canadians from what I've seen, is much, much smaller than anybody would have expected about 30 years ago. So the question is also just extent. And yet virtue is excellence in my mind. If we're talking about Aristotle, virtue is not moral, you know, moral upstandingness, is excellence. You can't be excellent. You can't live an excellent life if you're hobbled in distorted views of what racism is and how much it matters.
Most of us don't even know who we are, and we're steadily trying to figure out who someone else is. That's the problem right there. Come on, man. We're so busy trying to figure out who someone else is, what they hiding, what they thinking, what they not thinking. Do they like me? They don't like me, do they? They trying to go against me? They conspiring? No, man. Figure out who you are. Figure out what you can bring to the world. What are you offering? What are you offering society at the end of the day? That's what we need to try to figure out. Man, you just saying that because you got all them white people supporting you and you got white friends now and blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying anything I haven't heard yet. Period. I'm not saying anything I haven't heard yet. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, people are people, bro. People are people, man. They are. People are people. And I'm learning that. I told you before, I used to think that all white people were racist. I did. I used to go to my job and think that I wasn't getting the raises because I was black. I was thinking I wasn't getting the opportunities because I was black. I was thinking all those things, man. That was before I had any white friends whatsoever. Before I gave white America a chance to say, oh, let me figure out how y'all really are. Y'all good people? But damn, you had the same issues as me. Sheesh, you grew up like that? Wow. You know who? You know what I mean? Sometimes when you have those type of situations, it kind of opens your mind a little bit. It really does. And you start to look within and be like, okay, I got some growing up to do. I really do.
Particular things will not allow you to be the best that you can be, unless you think that the best that you can be is somebody who is hyper articulate about discussing bias against other people. And what a narrow topic. There's so much to do. And so I just chafe against it.
I think that's an excellent place to close, if you don't mind. And I really enjoyed our conversation. It flew by as far as I was concerned. And I hope you
Thanks for having me.
I hope you have the success that you deserve with your new book, Woke Racism, How a New Religion is Betraying Black America. And
We'll see.
I wish you well in the future and hope perhaps that we meet again and at least we're able to talk again.
This is cool. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about that in the comments below. And if you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so on your way out the door. Once again, guys, I'm Van, and now we are all the LFR family. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video and hopefully inside the Patreon as well. You all have been amazing. Love y'all.